exam because, let's see, sorry. Okay, all that stuff is dumb. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's trying really, really, really hard. And in all fairness, everybody's trying really hard, but this is a mess. This is a mess. Okay, so we got an update from our AP coordinator. So we'll talk about the AP exam first. Most of you should have seen by now that it is going to be taken at home. They're really not picky about the device that you take it on, as far as I've been able to tell. If you want the information directly, the web link is, well, actually, here, I'll just copy it and paste it. It's apcoronavirusupdates.collegeboard.org. So you can go there and you can see at least some of the stuff that I'm about to read to you. Okay, so here's the deal. They're calling it Open Note because, I mean, like, how can they make you not have your notes there, right? That's not really a solid strategy. But you really don't have time to look at your notes, y'all. Like, you should not treat it like an open note exam. Yes, you can have your AP World Binder out, but like, that is holy, I really don't see how that's going to help unless there is literally something that you've never heard of. But they cut the time down to 45 minutes, and you guys have done DBQs. You know that you really use nearly all of the time. So yes, technically, it is open note because they can't really stop you from doing that. But for the most part, that is not going to give you a whole lot of what you need because it is a skills-based question. So the skills need to exist inside of you beforehand. So the basics reading from that particular page. Your exam date has been moved to May 21st. You will be taking this exam at 2 p.m. and you're going to have 45 minutes to answer question 1 and only 1, and then you're going to have 5 minutes to upload. There is a new rubric, which we'll talk about tomorrow, and we'll talk about a lot more going forward. But there is a new rubric. It is a little bit different because I guess they want to see more things. They want you to do more stuff. But the reason they cut the time down is because you're only going to have 5 documents instead of the 7. I do want to point out that while I said I did not think that they would pick a DBQ, I said I guess they could do a modified DBQ and take it down to like 5 documents. This was not my first choice, just because, I mean, then it's just one topic, but this is the world that we live in, so this is what we get to do. Okay, so I'm going to get you a bunch of different resources, but the quick description of the rubric, which if you followed that link is labeled question description, it says you'll have 5 historical sources, one of which will be a non-text-based source. We hope they pick some short texts for you all. So that means one will be an artifact or a photo, possibly more, but yeah, you don't really. Okay, so you have to have a historically defensible thesis. You have to have a broader historical context relevant to the prompt, okay? So you totally know how to do that. We're going to do a lot of that. Important argument in response to the prompt using at least 4 documents. So that is simply backing up your thesis with a correct analysis of 4 documents. There are now 2 options for specific historical evidence or that is outside the documents. So that is good if you know a lot about the time period. You can do that. They're looking for you to be able to source 2 documents, and then they still are including the option for the unicorn point, which, I mean, okay. So that's a thing that they're doing. Let me look. I went to a different screen to read you that. Let me read your comments. Yeah, Danny, I'm a cry too. I mean, it's not that you guys can't do DBQs. It's just the way I thought they were going to do it, I thought would be easier. Yes, Morgan, it is absolutely confirmed that it will be a DBQ. It's there on the website. I guess, Liam, if we are by some miracle back in school that day, but I haven't talked to a single person at any level of education who thinks that we're going to be back in school on that day. But yeah. Really, the reason, I guess, that they're going to go with it being shorter is because they cut down those documents. So I really think that they're going to be short, at least. Also, Zach, you can click on the link that I posted. It is 2 p.m. Eastern time. On the website, Zach, it gives you the exact times. I mean, you can extrapolate based on that, but it gives you the exact times for every single different time zone. Angela, will everyone's be the same? No. I don't think anybody knows. If somebody is telling you that they will all be the same or that they will all be different, I think that they probably don't have good access to that information because they're probably not on the test development committee, who I bet has been having the worst week ever. That being said, I can't use that phrase anymore without laughing, but I doubt that they will all be the same. Well, you guys were all taking AP Human, so if any of you tried to tell your friends in California what the prompt was, the California kids got a different prompt. Now this one, they are literally doing it like the Hawaii people have to start their AP exams at 6 a.m. because they are testing the whole dang country at exactly the same time. But I still bet that there might be different exams. Correct, yes, but I bet Miss Hunt does not know the answer to this one either. At least not for the world stuff. Questions about the AP tests so far that you didn't already type? I will warn you that if you are on this call right now, there is a decent chance that we will go over this same material again tomorrow when we do our lesson, which I think I said was going to be 1 o'clock. So yeah, and I'll come back to that. Correct. The College Board says, like I read that straight off the website, that one of the 5 documents will not be a written document. I hope that maybe more than one that isn't a written document, but it is a little harder to source. Let's see, somebody just unmuted. Do you have a question? Okay, 424 Shrikant.
Oh, that's me. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yes. Okay. So the deal is, because, for a while they were saying that there were going to be 2 days and you could have a choice. Okay, that's not a good plan. The plan is that you should really try to take it on May the 21st or whatever date I just told you that it was. That way, if you lose power or if there's a crazy freak tornado, you can still take the makeup version. Now, if you wake up and you're vomiting or you are sick with COVID-19, then clearly you're going to want to take it on a different date. What is the option if you were sick on both of the dates? I don't know. Please try to not be sick on both of those dates. I don't want any of you to be sick anyways. Okay, so Liam's question about people who live in the same house. So here's the deal. If you are testing in the same location as somebody else, hypothetically, yes, you could discuss, but you do not have time to discuss. You realistically do not have time. You really, really don't have time to discuss this. You don't. You still have to come up with a thesis. You still have to have a context statement. You have to analyze at least 4 of the documents. You want to source at least 2 of them. You need to shove in 2 relevant argument supporting outside pieces of evidence. You really don't have time to discuss. You really don't. And again, they're calling it open note, but unless you've literally never heard of the historical event that is in question, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, I guess you could look up historical timeline. What else happened between 1925 and 1930? I mean, Google is going to give you some really stupid answer for that. And yes, it'll be the first thing that comes up, but it's going to be some dumb nonsense. Every time students are like, oh, I'm gonna Google search the prompt that the teacher gave us to do at home. Like, everybody writes the same nonsensical thing because they're all looking at the same Google website. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, Liam, you are right. Won't be on the test. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Angela's question and then we're gonna move on. Okay, so random question. How can I scroll so that I can see everybody who's on the call right now? Oh, never mind, I figured it out. Okay. Jonathan, are you the Jonathan who was asking questions earlier? I really think I have just one Jonathan, but no, not you. Okay. Had something like Jonathan 19. Jonathan 19 had a lot of questions and does not appear to be on this call. Oh, sure. They're all going to be very specific. Like, Google is not going to help you. The only thing that Google is going to do is waste everybody's time. Okay, so now let's talk about this whole NTI thing, which is probably what more of you are interested in. Let me, actually, Chi-Chi, are you on this call? You sent me an individual message, but I don't know if I see you. Yeah, you're here? Yes? Okay, good. And you can hear everything? Yes? Okay. So the question that I got earlier, okay, I'll summarize. So the question I got earlier was basically, my friend said that you guys can't assign homework. Is that true? Okay, so that was the question. And then the question was, and I want to tell my friend who's right or who's wrong, so what can you tell me? And I'm going to read you what they have sent us from the district because it is what it is. Okay, so they sent us this lesson form that we are supposed to use. And I have posted mine on the portal, but apparently I have to repost it because some person made a mistake. Okay, so on the form, it literally says, have any of you, actually before I read this, have any of you found this portal situation? No, they might push all that info out to you tomorrow. JCPS has been sending a lot of emails lately, and it's been frustrating because most of them say pretty much nothing. Ooh, this is recorded. But like, they don't give me the information that I want. Okay, and yes, there's a problem with the manual run right now, but basically it's going to be a form and it's going to tell you what our weekly topic is, and then it's going to tell you what you're supposed to do. So literally the form that we were told that we had to fill out, like this is not optional, everybody must do this. There is a section on it that says focus topic for the week, and then there is a section on it that says Google Classroom assignments due on Friday. Okay, so yes, the first question is, do you have assignments? Yes, you do have assignments. The next question is, are they due? Well, according to the thing that they just made us put our lesson plans on, they would like us to make them due on Fridays. So there's that. Assign homework, well, okay, to me, everything that you're assigned, I mean, I don't really care what you call it, but you're at home. And if you're not at home right now, you need to stop doing whatever you're doing and you need to go home. You should be at home, which means that any work that you're doing at all is sort of by default homework because that's the spot where you're doing it. That makes sense? Like, does anybody have questions about that? This is also to address what Liam said. These are individual lesson plans that are going to be filled out by each of your teachers. And I guess that they want you to go to this portal and click on all your teacher names and get all of your assignments. Okay. So literally, probably here if you want to find it. Okay. The other thing about these is that they are going to include both of my classes or all the different classes that your teachers teach. So you have to find the one that applies to you. Okay, so please don't go and do the human geography homework. That's not going to work. Okay, so I'm copying the link and I'm pasting it into the Discord. Yeah, no, it's not a common curriculum. I mean, they're still handing out the choice boards if you wanted one, but I don't know why you would want that. Oh, math behind social distancing, that's fun. Okay, so you can click on that and you can tell me whether or not you can see the document, but the document includes a few different things that are relevant to you for my class. The first thing is that it tells you when office hours are going to be. They want teachers to have office hours where we are especially available to students. I mean, you can really contact me at any point in time, but basically what they're saying is I am obligated to respond to you during office hours. And if you contact me outside of office hours, then I can respond to you A, whenever I want, or B, the next time I have office. Because a thing that is happening is that sometimes students are apparently emailing or contacting their teachers, and when you have 150 students and they all need different things at slightly different times, then you get teachers who are working 18 hours a day, constantly responding to all of these questions. I think that you guys, well, right, and Angela, I responded to you when it was convenient for me, and I feel bad because I think there was an email that I missed that said, hey, I'm looking for something I want to do it this week, and I didn't see it because I actually low-key did take spring break. And you know what? I encourage you guys to have a schedule and to keep a schedule and to schedule yourself break times. Yes. Oh, Danny, you are right. It is a lot to keep up with. And I've been trying to check the Google Classroom stuff for my two kids, and it is a lot of different moving pieces. So if you liked to use an agenda, you might want to use an agenda to keep track of your stuff. One official thing that JCPS said is we are not allowed to require you. We are not allowed to require you to come to an online meeting at a certain time and then get mad at you if you don't. Now, teachers will be keeping attendance-ish. What that means is that we are supposed to keep track of whether or not we have interacted with each of you at least one time per week. Okay, so that is a thing that all of your teachers are going to need to do. And we will be keeping track of that and reporting anybody that we've not been hearing from. But you are not mandated to attend any particular online session, and Liam has offered very generously to record them so that if you happen to be busy, then that won't suck too bad for you. Let's diverge a little bit from the NTI thing, and let's talk about this because 3 of you liked Angela's comment that says, I feel like without school, the structure of my entire life has broken down. Yes, probably, except that you still have things that you're supposed to do, and also there's this crazy, scary pandemic that's going on. Well, Zach, they're making us use the portal. Of course, on mine, I said, follow the schedule I gave you. So the schedule technically isn't on the portal. But hopefully we're all going to make it as easy as we possibly can. Everybody here really wants to help students and not make their lives awful, okay? Please understand that everybody is at least on the same page about that this is a way to continue learning, but Liam, literally the Google Doc with my lesson plan says, see the schedule I already gave you. yeah, I spent a lot of time on that schedule. You guys have spent a lot of time on that schedule. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I tried to make my office hours at a time that was convenient for you all. I welcome feedback on that. It is not necessarily the time that was most convenient for me. Like, I'm not a morning person, so like usually, so I have to clock in at work by like 9. And before that, I'm going to be like making coffee and kind of stumbling around. And that's a time that I really like to answer emails. But I figure 9 a.m. is not convenient for any of you because, yes, your sleep schedule is probably completely screwed and has been out the window. So I made my office hours from 2 to 3 every day, except for Friday, because I want to be done by noon on Fridays, like if at all possible, and then maybe save that time for like a grading while I'm sitting out in my backyard. So office hours on Friday are from 10 to 11. I'm not going to just ignore you on purpose on the weekends. If I see your stuff and I am able to, I will respond. But the number one thing, and please understand that I feel this way about you too, the number one thing here is that we all keep our sanity. So if responding to your message is going right now, right at whatever second I see it is going to make me go crazy or push me over the edge, I'm going to just not respond right then. And I would like you to sort of treat all of the work in my class and all of our interactions. I would like you to think, am I going to lose my mind if I do this right now? And if the answer is yes, then go do something else. Okay? Yeah. No, the sleep schedule is tough. The portal right now is closed because it's broken or something. JCPS is going to give you, they're going to send you some kind of email, or maybe they already have, and it's going to say, hey, this is where you go, and you're just going to click on it. Liam, you're really not the worst. You're really not. We could talk about doing Zoom. I've got at least at least 75 of you were on here. So we could do Zoom at least occasionally just to say hi maybe. But this is a platform that everybody has now found and signed on to. And like, why add another platform? I mean, like we could, but I don't really think that any of you are really desperately like, wow, I really feel like school isn't complete without seeing Miss Krause's smiling face. I feel like that's probably not a need that you have. But you know what? If you need to see each other, if you're just like, no, seriously, just I would like to see human beings and I would like them to smile at me so I don't feel alone, then we can do that. And nobody is Discord bombing, as far as I'm aware. The district is encouraging people to not use Zoom because, no, seriously, Jacob, that is too real. That is too real. Every teacher's on a different platform. And like I said, with my kids, like one of the teachers was on Flipgrid, and I'm like, I am just not going to mess with that right now. So if we want something else, Danny, this is too true. We could do Zoom with hats. We could all wear fun, exciting hats every day to cover up the fact that maybe our hair is greasy or that we haven't been able to get a haircut like we need to. Mr. Krause is looking a little bit scruffy. Like I'm very willing to meet you guys where you are at and to do what we need to do. Right. I was like, you guys, if we do Zoom, I found 2 places in my house that have really good globes like behind me. And, you know, I mean, that's kind of fun. But I could just take selfies and post them. And then, like, I can control what my hair looks like. I was like, oh, whoops, there's a Zoom meeting now. Okay, but seriously. So, assign you work? Yes. And I'm basing my assessment of that on the fact that we were told, 1, to assign work, and 2, that we were told to make it due on Fridays is the suggestion. So I guess we are allowed to assign work. Now, what will that look like and all of this business? They're like, yeah, so we don't really know. We haven't gotten any direct guidance from the district on homework, is what I heard today. So, yeah. Given that, I would like for us to just stick to the schedule. You know, I already modified it once, and you know how much I hate modifying schedules. That's just kind of a type A thing with me. Things because I think that they will be good for your learning. The bolded things, yes, because those are all things that I was going to add, and they were like, maybe don't add more work, and I was like, okay, fine. Plus, you know, the College Board changed what they're testing over. So yes, those are effectively going to be extra credit now. So those are nice to know, nice to have, but not, you know, like don't ruin your life over it. Let's see. I mean, but really, like, why would you not want to look at the Soviet Union? Or actually, okay, hold on, let me clarify. Oh no, oh no. You guys are like, I don't like it when she says, oh no, like that. Oh, I answered somebody's question without actually looking at the document because I thought I was gonna be sneaky. So what I meant to say is that the stuff that I haven't uploaded to Google Classroom yet is going to be extra credit, not the bolded stuff. But I guess since I said it was the bolded stuff, I guess we can do the bolded stuff. In any case, a lot of that stuff is a good idea, right? Like a lot of it is good. I understand that maybe you don't want to take notes on all of it, and I'm sympathetic to that, but really, like, I really, really, really strongly recommend that you read everything. And I know that when I say I strongly recommend, and you're like, well, he recommended it, and that's different than required, okay? So, like, do not stress yourself. Yeah, don't stress yourself out, but go ahead and do your best because that's going to be better for you. Okay. So, okay. So, test category, right? So that's what we're talking about here. There's going to be writing that you're going to do, and I'm going to put the writing in the test category. But I'm sure that you're going to do well and better than the standard. So I would really just not freak out. Like I would just really not freak out. Danny, today is Monday. And it's 4:30 in the afternoon. Yes, I really I had to think about that. I had to think about what day it was. And I was like, I only know it's Monday because today I had a call with department. It is not Tuesday. It is definitely Monday right now. But I mean, who would know anyways, right? Does it matter? Does it matter what day it is? Okay. So let's talk about this schedule thing. Like, is that okay? Can I give you some advice? Okay. So try to put yourself back on some kind of schedule. It doesn't even have to be a schedule necessarily that the grown-up world likes, but just having a schedule for you is going to make your life better. Okay. So decide what time you're going to wake up, you know. It's possible that your teachers might all decide that their office hours should be at 9 a.m. I really gave serious thought to that because, like I said, like my kids' school that I make them do, it starts at 9. So that's a time that's convenient for me, but I realize that's not going to be convenient for a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds. So, you know, if your wake up time every day is 2 p.m., great. Make sure that every day you set your alarm and you get up at 2 p.m. You know, and then like almost like literally remember when you were in elementary school and they had a little plan, like at 9 a.m. we wash our hands and we do the morning announcements. And at 9:30 a.m. we eat our snack. Okay. For us, like, let me give you an example. So I'm right now waking up at, 8 or 8:30. I get the kids up around that time. They eat breakfast and then we start school at 9 or a few minutes late because I'm late about everything. Yes, okay, they are kind of condescending, but they're also effective because, as I think several of you have seen, I've never seen anybody like anything as much as that. The whole schedule has gone out the window and it's kind of a problem. My life no longer has meaning. People, human beings, actually thrive on having some sort of normalcy. So I would recommend that, and then maybe you start your day once you eat something, so now what is it? It's like 2 o'clock now. You got up an hour ago, you had breakfast. And you say, okay, I'm going to go in Google Classroom and look and see what my teachers told me. I'm going to check my planner and see if anybody set up a Zoom call or something that I feel like actually showing up for, and I would say I would devote a certain number of hours to that per day, so you could be like, well, all right, now say it's 3. So from 3 to 4, you're going to work on AP World. And then at 4, you get to go take a bike ride and you bike for half an hour because you should still get outside and have physical activity. Like I don't have a step tracker, but if I did, it would be like, hi, you walked from the living room today twice. Good job. You should go outside and get some exercise if it's not raining. You should do something to relieve some stress and some anxiety. Then you come back and you're like, okay, I'm going to read that stupid book that my English teacher assigned. No, I'm sure your English teacher is assigning you wonderful books. No, seriously, go outside. It's beautiful out. You should do that when we all get off this call. If you're not already outside, you should go outside because it's gorgeous. And also, exercise produces endorphins, so you will feel better if you do that. And then try to pick a time. Somebody said they're going to bed at 3. Okay, great. Every night, go to bed at 3. Don't be like, oh, but I'm playing Call of Duty or whatever it is that you all are playing now, Halo or Fortnite or whatever you're playing. Be like, okay, it's 3 o'clock, not signing in for another game, not reading another chapter of my book into the middle of the night. Now it's bedtime. But I would highly, highly, highly recommend a schedule. I mean, and you can things too. Like the thing that I do almost every day with my kids, I missed today because I had a doctor's appointment. I think I told you this before, but the Cincinnati Zoo does an at-home safari at 3 p.m. every day. So you could make that part of your schedule. Like your schedule doesn't have to suck, but I would just really strongly recommend that you come up with some kind of schedule so that you don't feel like you're a ship lost at sea. And yeah. Oh, will you send me the Met link? I want to do that. I want to watch an opera. I mean, I don't even have enough time. There's so much good stuff that's live streaming. I don't even have enough time to watch all of it. Sidebar, at 7 o'clock on Friday nights, Shakespeare in the Park is doing Facebook Live with a bunch of different plays. The National Theater. Yes, and if somebody finds a live stream of Hamilton, I definitely need that link as well because I want to see it and I do not have hundreds of dollars for tickets. Oh, and Anastasia is here listening to me, my daughter, and she wants to see it as well. Fun fact, I just found out that the story of The Lion King is also the story of Hamlet, and I did not know this until today. So that's that's a cross between TIL and TIFU because I really probably should have known that before now. Yeah, so I learned something new today as well. Okay, so do we have more questions about what JCPS has had to say? They really have not given me the kind of information that I was hoping to get. Let me look through because there was a section from an email that I wanted to read to you. There are so many from JCPS, it's just tricky. There's so many emails from JCPS. If you are a student who does not, well, if you don't have the technology that you need, you are welcome to email me and I will try to hook you up with maybe somebody who can help. I understand that the time frame for people who are on free and reduced lunch to apply for Chromebooks has come and gone, and that they are now actually in the process of mailing out those Chromebooks to the people who were approved. So, and I think there's going to be a time when people who are not free and reduced lunch, but who maybe have some sort of need, there will be, I think, a second application period, but I mean, if you're having technology problems, please let me know. If you know somebody who is having technology problems but is having trouble like emailing me, maybe let me know that as well. Looking for this thing. Okay, I can't find it, guys. I'm sorry. But really, the general gist is that this is not supposed to freak you out. It's not supposed to ruin your life. It's not supposed to kill your grade. But this is something that you are expected to do, and that you should have a couple of hours of work per regular class per week. I think that since my class is an AP class, it might take a little bit longer than that, but I'm not asking you to do anything that the district does not want you to do. They could potentially be a little bit clearer. Okay. Okay, so Danny, what the, okay, hold on, going back up. Okay. ACPS did send out emails to apply for Chromebooks, but the first round only went to people who receive special education services or people who are on free or reduced lunch. Ellipsism, that is a fancy word. You only, so JCPS is only doing one device per household right now. I don't know if that will change at any point, but they're only doing one device per household, which is actually one of the reasons that they have given some guidelines for how much work we should be giving. Unfortunately, if you are getting a computer from JCPS right now, it looks like they're just sending one. I know, Liam, it's a real struggle. I think they are assuming that people have access to email on their phones, but again, I don't think that it's fair to assume that, you know, if somebody has lost their job and wasn't able to pay their cell phone bill, what if their phone gets turned off? Then they really don't have a whole lot going on. They've also, I think I heard a radio announcement that said that you should look online if you needed one of these Chromebooks from JCPS, and I saw an advertisement on another website from JCPS effectively saying the same thing as well. Okay, so we talked about the AP exam. We've talked about the structure of class assignments. We've talked about the fact that there is a provision for assigning assignments on the official lesson plan, and there's a provision for due dates on the lesson plan. I have decided that literally it's just gonna stay the same. Since I said we didn't have to do the bolded things, I will make all of those just things that you can do for more credit. What other questions do we have? Like that's most of the housekeeping stuff. What other questions can I answer for you? Does anybody also have any questions about how to put yourself on a schedule? Okay, so Angela's question, yes, we are looking to get all of that stuff by the 17th. you know, and I'll be flexible with you. I think at least 2 of you have asked to be able to mail those. I will get an address for you. I think I figured out a way where I don't have to give every single kid in the 10th grade my home address. I mean, like technically, if you're a real creeper, home ownership records are part of the public record and are publicly available if you are a real creeper. But I mean, you really don't need my home address. So I'll get you a specific format, but I'm going to have you do something that's called sending them general delivery. And basically that just means that it has my name on it, but it just chillaxes the post office until I go get it. Okay. It's going to take me a long time to go through all of that stuff. Yes, you understand that it's going to take a very long time for me to go through all of those things. So please be patient. I am going to create all of the assignments on Google Classroom so you can upload them in the right spots, which is going to make my life easier. And I'm not going to even start putting anything in until after the 17th. Somebody, I think Deji, was asking about a rewrite of an SAQ. I'm gonna get that. No, please don't mail it to Manual because they don't want us going there. Even the office people are not going there. Mr. Farmer is not supposed to be there. So having it show up at Manual is not going to be helpful, unfortunately. Although I do think I think remodeling people are still there, but I'm like, how are they going to remodel my classroom if I never packed my stuff? So fun times. Luke, let me double check, but I honestly think that I screwed up last time and I told you I was going to post all that will be posted stuff and then I think I didn't post it. Somebody can fact check me on that, but I've got a bad feeling I didn't post it all. So, yes. So I will legit actually go and post that. Also, I did post something called Hot Tub History, which seems reasonably quality. I'm going to be posting a bunch of other stuff. I might do it tonight. I might do it tomorrow. But the College Board has got reviews from various different teachers. Katie, I love that you're calling out Liam. And no, it's really not a challenge. I mean, it really wouldn't be that hard to find my address, but like, you know, like you just don't need it. I mean, unless you want to send me Girl Scout cookies, in which case creep away, but you really don't need my home address. So that's not going to be a thing. Okay, so I'm also going to put up some things about the structure of this particular DBQ. A lot of teachers who maybe are even more type A than I am have made all kinds of different graphic organizers to help teach you how to write the new style of DBQ. So I will go ahead and save those and then post them to Google Classroom so we can talk about them. After the 17th, that's the primary thing that we are going to be doing, but I will probably go over the rubrics tomorrow. You'll at least have a sense of what's going on. Anything that says SAQ, that's all going to be DBQs now. I made that with the thought that they were going to do short answer questions. Clearly, that's not what happened. So all of that's going to be DBQ themed stuff. Alexander Krause has a question. What's up? Oh, I think he's outside. Not a question for you all. Or are we good? I don't want to drag this out painfully for the people who are like, I want to listen later, but I just want to get the information and move on with my life. And when you are able to get onto the portal and look at the manual lesson plan things I was talking to you about, my focus topics for this week are the 20th century put the cray and cray cray and preparing for the special 2020 AP exam. So I think I need to look at the schedule. Give me 1 second. So here we are. Go ahead and do your best and I'm going to post this on Google Classroom as well. Do your best to do, especially the Middle East and the Israel-Palestine stuff. When I post the Israel-Palestine packet, you'll want to have it open, but I'm not, like, we will talk through, because there's a bunch of stuff in there that looks like worksheets. We'll talk through it, and you can maybe jot it down while we're on the call tomorrow, but we'll talk about Israel and Palestine tomorrow. That's the topic for our lesson, and then the next week we'll look at decolonization, and we'll be just about done. Okay. I don't know where the portal is. I'm really sorry. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, so I Google searched JCPS NTI portal and clicked on the first link. Partway down that page, there's something that says JCPS's NTI webpage. Oh, here's the link to the NTI webpage. And it's got instructions for the portal there. Oh, Amelia, is that what you just posted? Yeah, the manual one, they spelled manual wrong, so they had to take it down, and they're in the process, I guess, of fixing it. But the link that I just posted is the one that should get you to the place where the instructions are for how to get there. Don't think there's a link on the actual manual website, unfortunately, at this time. Okay, any other questions? Not sure that we have. Oh, Zach, you mean our current random quarantine stories, like not like historical random quarantine stories? That is another thing that they suggested, was that we not focus too much on the pandemic, because, you know, everybody is thinking about it. But if that is a topic that people want to talk about and they're just like, oh my gosh, I just need to socialize a little bit, that's totally a thing that we can do. But they did advise me, like, specifically, they called out the world history teachers, and they were like, maybe don't look at pandemics and world history. And I was like, too late. That was actually my very last scheduled lesson, was Spanish influenza. So, oops, my bad. Well, I guess the good news is that a lot of other pandemics have been worse. You know, I did write on the last day of school on the board, I wrote, at least it's not Ebola. And that's really true. Yeah, actually, Zach, I'm a talker. I don't know if you guys could tell. I'm totally a talker, so the idea of having an opportunity to talk about things helps me. Yes, this is absolutely one for the history books. This is definitely a historic pandemic. The upcoming economic downturn is going to be a real thing. Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you. Manual isn't clickable because they screwed it up, and it didn't have it like was missing the N. So yeah. And Liam, you're right. Ebola absolutely had a total number of infections that was lower, but it is so much more deadly. It was so much more deadly. I mean, not that this isn't serious, but when you have Ebola, there's like, it's basically 100% supportive care. And okay, if anybody has any questions or anything that they need to ask, if you want to unmute yourself and ask, that would be fine. Otherwise, I am going to disconnect, but you guys can all still stay connected and keep on talking or messaging or whatever and talk about the Daily Show and all that stuff. What does a boiling egg have to do with anything? Okay, see, this is why you need to be able to talk without teachers. Okay, so I'm going to sign off in like 10 seconds. If you have something you need from me,